Hello friends and followers. Today we're going to make a dish called beef braciole, which is an Italian dish. I am starting off with 4 pieces of very thinly cut steak. I was actually able to find these in my local grocery store. I will say if you can't find them, you can go to your butcher and have them cut your steak down to about 1/4 or 1/8 to 1/4, but no thicker. And then you can pound them out. But I do take some breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, garlic, and I'm cutting up some parsley to add to it. And then you're going to come in with some salt and pepper and some olive oil. All these measurements are in the description, but you're going to combine this until it's nice and granular. I do perfect the measurements for this because I had more breadcrumbs than I actually needed. So you're going to take your beef and you're going to go ahead and salt it. Make sure you pepper it as well, and then layer with some prosciutto. I used 1.5 pieces per on mine because they were bigger pieces of steak. And then I added in the breadcrumbs, and as you see, I'm patting them down with my hands just because you want that nice and compacted in there, and then roll from the smaller end to the bigger end. Then use a toothpick and secure them shut. And it's really that easy. I go on to do more here, but I thought I would just show you the 2 to show you the process. Then I'm cutting down a shallot. Again, we're going to saute this down. You know I'm big on flavors, as are Italians. So now we're going to take a pan, heat up some oil, and then we're going to put our meat in seam side down with the toothpick. We're going to get a nice sear on all sides. This is not to cook the meat. This is just to give it a good sear and to get that flavor in the pan. As most of you know, all those crispy bits at the bottom is flavor. So once those are good and browned off, we're going to go ahead and put in our shallots, kind of mix them around a little bit. You're going to start until they become a little translucent. Add your garlic, and again, you're going to mix them around, and this is where the heaven starts. You add in some red wine, and you're going to start scraping up the bottom. As it's boiling off like this is cooking off the alcohol, which you want. I did go ahead and add the other cup here as I'm obviously stirring off, still trying to get all the crispy bits off the bottom, adding my beef broth, my crushed tomatoes, and then I added all my seasonings. Now mind you, do not have to add all of these seasonings if you have Italian seasoning. I did not, but I had everything to make it. So then you're going to add all your meat back into your pan, put it in the oven, and it's going to cook on low for about 2 hours. When it comes down, here it is. You can see that it's evaporated a lot of that juice off, and the meat is nice and done. So now to thicken up our juice a little bit, we're going to take a little bit of the broth that's already in the pan, and I added some flour to it. I didn't have enough liquid, so I added more, and we just want to whisk this really good because you don't want any flour clumps. And then you're going to go back and you're going to add it to the pan. And I had it on low, simmering here while my water boiled in the background for my noodles. You just want to be careful not to break up your meat, because we don't want it all broken up. It's just a presentation purposes, if you will. Then I came in with a spoon and just kind of combined everything, covered it. It is on low. I just want to get a good simmer on it. It's going to cook for about 15 minutes or so. And I'm stirring occasionally to make sure that flour doesn't stick, because it can. Then once it all comes together, we will go ahead and get our noodles ready, and then we're going to take that beef out. I put 2 pieces of beef per bowl. Take out those toothpicks. You don't want to serve your toothpicks. And then you can top it with some Parmesan cheese and parsley. If you guys make this and you try it, I would love your feedback on if you like this or not. And please do not be intimidated. It seems like a lot of steps, but trust me,